So 6 Perek of Pirke, it's really not part of the Mishnah. It's called Perek Kinyan Torah. It's a Braita that was compiled together regarding the idea of learning Torah. Learning self-improvement and self-growth is really a cornerstone of Yahadut, of Judaism. That's what sets apart, to a great extent, what we believe. What we believe is constantly studying and learning more. As a matter of fact, the very first idea discussed, we said in Pirke Avoth, that al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed al Torah v'al avodah v'al gemilut chasadim. So we said gemilut chasadim is relationship between man and fellow man. Avodah, right, tefillah, etc., is relationship between man and God. So what is Torah? Torah is a relationship between man and himself. Studying, learning is getting to know ourselves better, discovering our possibilities, our endless capacity. That is what it's all about. What it's all about is not to ever stop discovering ourselves. It's endless. The truth of the matter is the possibilities, the abilities, the capabilities are endless, are impossible. Impossible. I mean, man could do anything he sets his mind to. I had a friend in yeshiva, he was Russian, so he knew some karate, he was pretty good at it. He said his instructor in Russia was very famous. He worked for 15 years to be able to stand on one finger. Right? Some people, you see these people, they stand on one hand, so then he worked another 15 years to stand on one finger. Now, that is one ability, spend a lot of time, but the point is, our abilities are endless. Our power of understanding, our power of seeing, absorbing insights is endless. So therefore, Torah is considered that relationship between man and himself. Is studying, is discovering oneself, going deeper and deeper. So this 6th Perek opens up all the benefits and requirements that go together with studying Torah. So Rabbi Meir Omer kol ha'osek v'Torah lishma. Anybody who's osek v'Torah lishma. So what does Torah lishma mean? Torah lishma means he's not doing it in order, like Rambam says. Rambam says when a child is young, you tell him learn Torah, I give you a candy. Gets older, say learn him, I give you cash. Learns old, he becomes older, cash doesn't hold money, power over them anymore. So learn Torah, people will respect you, people will call you rabbi. Right? None of these are lishma, these are wonderful things. There is nothing wrong with them. But the level we are talking about right here is not. Lishma is like what I said before. To learn Torah for the sake of Torah, for the sake of Torah itself, for the unbelievable opportunity it is on itself. So what he gets in return is endless, many things. Not only that, unbelievable idea. The whole world is created for such a person. At the end of the day, the world was created for us to recognize our own potential. That's it. And there is no better way of doing it than Torah. The whole world, the goal is this. That is the goal. Whenever something is the goal, so everything else goes to the side. Everything goes to the side. Okay. Nikra Reya. Such a person is called a friend. Such a person knows and does what is true friendship. It's very difficult to be a true friend. In a lot in all relationships, there is a lot also that may be selfish. I see a friend of mine, he's not doing the right thing. So I tell him, it's the wrong thing. He's not going to like me anymore. I'm not going to be popular anymore. Right? Why should I jeopardize my own standing just to make him better? Let him not be better. I'll be the goody-goody. It's a very, very difficult thing to do, to truly be selfless in that way also. A true friend needs to be selfless to the point of risking the friendship. It becomes very, very difficult. Very difficult. So, he's called a true friend. Ahuv, he is beloved. Everybody loves him. Somebody who truly works on himself. He is not there putting people down. The other way around. He's there building himself up. Everybody loves him. אוהב את המקום, אוהב את הבריות. He loves Hashem. He loves people. You see some people just walking around. They have criticism and negativity about everything around them. Everything around them, they have negativity. And then there are people who, Baruch Hashem, see positive in everything. See positive in everything. I read this famous book, what is it called? All for the Boss. It's really an amazing book. So his daughter wrote it, so she writes that she wants, her father said, Rabbi Herman said, there was never anything that he asked Hashem that Hashem didn't respond. Everything that he asked Hashem, Hashem gave him. So he said, but you're hard of hearing, why don't you ask Hashem to heal you? So for someone my age, hard of hearing is normal. And I can't ask for an unreasonable thing. So he felt what is right and what is wrong, and he asked only for that, and that's what he got. It's an amazing thing. I don't expect something crazy. So, right, when you see so much positive, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable when you ohev et haberiot, when you're just positive in people. When you're positive in people, right? It's there's the famous story. We are this week is Rosh Chodesh. The day after tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh Av already. There's a story that Rav Levi Yitzchak of Berditchev saw somebody eating on Tisha B'Av. Eating on Tisha B'Av is a big deal. Even some people who are lax about many other mitzvot on Tisha B'Av, they don't eat. It's Tisha B'Av. So he tells him, must be you're ill. And the doctor said, you have to eat. So he says, no, I'm not ill. So he says, must be that you don't know today is Tisha B'Av. So he said, no, I know just fine what today is. So it must be somebody got you angry and you really lost it. You got so angry, that's why you picked up the food to eat. He says, no, not really. That's not why I'm eating. So he keeps on giving one excuse after another. And the man says, no. My friend says, look, Rabbi, don't look for excuses. I know that it's Tisha B'Av, I just don't care. I have no excuse. I just don't care. I don't care about Tisha B'Av or anything. I'm eating. So Rabbi Yitzchak picks up his head. He says, Hashem, you see what a beautiful people you have. I gave him a dozen opportunities to lie and save face, but he wouldn't lie. He's such an honest man. Right? So even in the worst, you find what's positive. You find what's positive. Ohev et haberiah. That's what it means to love people. You just love what's about them, so you see the positive in them. See the positive in them. I mean, all of us have seen kids around that we call them that are really troublemakers. They get on your nerve. So probably within our own family, our kids, our grandkids, we've seen troublemaker kids also. So tell me something. Do you love him more or do you love him less? You love him more. All their troubles adds to their being cute. Yes, for somebody else, for the neighbor, it's difficult. They're such a handful. But for the parents, because there is love, nothing diminishes that love. That's what Ohevet HaBriyot is. Ohevet HaBriyot means that love overrides it. It doesn't mean I don't see what they may do wrong. It just doesn't block away what they do right either. He's interested in making people happy. He's interested in making Hashem happy. Now, Torah malbashto anava ve'yirah. The great ability that Torah has, says Mesulat Yeshaim, if one learns Torah with the proper attitude, then it will affect him. And if somebody does Torah just so to get back at somebody else, that will not bring him Kedusha. But somebody who does Torah, he said even Shelo Lishma, Torah will change the person. Malbashto anova ve'yirah, gives him humility, gives him fear of God. Machsharto liot tzaddik yochasid yashar v'ne'eman, allows him to be a righteous person, a pious person, very trustworthy person.
That's even if the Lishma?
Very fair. What?
He gets all this even in Lishma?
Even Shelo Lishma. Well, the Mishnah started by saying Lishma,
yeah,
right? But I think this part even goes Shelo Lishma, because eventually we'll come to Lishma, it says. Now the point is, Torah affects a person. Ma'or sheba. What does Hashem say? Hashem says, it's this week's Haftarah, no? It's this week's Haftarah. Says, Hashem says, I wish they would have left me. They forsake Hashem, they give up on Hashem and they chas shalom do avodah zarah, but continue to learn Torah, because Ma'or sheba, the light of Torah will bring him back. The light of Torah, all the troubles, all the problems it will solve. Somebody who has ego issues, Torah will fix him, as long as it's done with for the right reasons. Torah will fix him. There's a famous rabbi, his name is Rabbi Eliyahu Esses. He wrote a book. A few books I enjoyed as much as his book. His story is, right now he's a big Rosh Kohen in Israel. But his story is, he was in Russia during the communist era, behind the Iron Curtain, and there was this awakening, and he was at the helm of it. At that time, there was no contact with the outside world. There was this awakening, what they call refuseniks. In late 70s and 80s, they applied for visas to go to Israel, and they were denied. And that stirred the new feeling of, whereas for close to 60 years, all ideas of religion, especially Judaism, was wiped away. They didn't know anything about their Judaism, and more or less most of them were content. This that they were refused brought up in them, stirred in them. Look, we are different. We are different than the others. They refuse us, but they wouldn't refuse to others. So it sort of resurfaced their Jewish identity. So there are these refuseniks banded together, and under his leadership, he rediscovered Torah observance on his own. Eventually, they got to be in contact with us. So he started to buy books in Russian to know what it means to be Jewish, and eventually he got in contact with the outside world, with America and Israel. They sent him Sfarim. He taught himself Hebrew, slowly but surely. Now he's a big Rosh Kol, but he literally started not knowing even alphabet, and he was self-taught. And he, whatever he learned, he taught to others. Whatever he taught to others, he made them to be teachers. So one thing that they had going for them, it's unbelievable book. Silent Revolution, I think it's called. Silent Revolution. So because it was a communist, so in the summer, people are off for 2 weeks, and not the same 2 weeks. So he got a ranch or somewhere. He rented it, where within the cities KGB was very present, and they couldn't teach religion and all those things. Were punished over 25 years in Siberia, etc. Out there are not too many nosy eyes looking at you. And he had these retreats, 2-week retreats throughout the summer. He had 4 of them. He had an 8-week. He had the ranch, and he would bring in people. He would introduce them. He would teach them what it means to be Judaism. People who grew up not knowing anything except the fact that they were Jewish. Most of them weren't even circumcised, and he slowly taught them. So he writes an unbelievable thing. He says when they came in, they all came in with their questions. And remember, these are people who grew up, who went to school, were bombarded in the media, their TV every day. Their religion is the opium of the masses. Their religion, they're taught the worst negativity about. So they come with a lot of chip on their shoulder. So he says, I told them, I'm willing to answer any question you have at any time, except one question. Don't ask me if there is God. I will ask that question at the end of 2 weeks. I will answer that question. If you have the questions, this question you ask me at the end of 2 weeks. Any other question is fair. You ask me. You ask me. He says, I have over many, many years of dealing with true atheists. He said, I have yet to come across someone who, after learning Torah for 2 weeks, has a question, does God exist? He says this, that the Gemara says, it's really this week's Haftarah, it's a Navi. Ma'or sheba machziram lemutav, the light of Torah will answer everything. The light of Torah will take care of anything. Will take care of everything. So, all right. Marchaktu minachet. Torah is the most powerful tool that we have against sin. We live at a time where literally the dangers are abound. I don't want to. A few days ago, my whole day was devastated. My whole day was devastated. A woman in the community comes to me, part of our community, Shomer Shabbat. About 8 months ago, her husband unfortunately got into watching porn over the internet. And later, he progressed into, he became basically what they call sex addict. He progressed into these webcams that they pay huge amounts of money, really, per minute, to watch these women overseas, whatever, live, do whatever they do. And now, she's come to me, she found in their credit card 2 hotel charges, where her husband was in town, I know he came back home, so why did he go to a hotel in the middle of the day? She tells you there's only one, I haven't confronted him, there's only one answer. So I told him, why are you coming to me now? 8 months ago, your husband starts to get addicted to these sites. Right? Now, we live at a time that dangers are abound. I don't want to get into, I just brought that, maybe I shouldn't have. I brought that to point out that dangers are abound, and that's something we have to protect. We all need filters. We need absolute guards, and this is not a joke. This is not a soundbite. This has nothing. There are so many families I hear about it destroyed. I told her, either your husband needs to go to Sex Addicts Anonymous for group therapy and full therapy. He needs to realize he has an addiction problem and deal with it, or it's going to get worse and it's going to hurt the whole family. This is beyond the question of it's not a religious question, it's an halachic question. This is destructive behavior. This is something that non-Jews believe is destructive behavior. Right? Stays up all hours of the night. It's just addicted, pure and simple. And that addiction, it destroys the family. Again, besides that, every minute of it destroys the neshama. That would be my department, but as far as a therapist department, this is destructive. They're going to tell you the same thing. If he doesn't accept that he has a problem and deal with it, it's just going to hurt the whole family. So the point is, really, dangers abound. Besides everything else that we have to do to keep it away from our house, keep it outside of our house, we have to also remember nothing like Torah could give us the strength to stay away from it. One who learns Torah, it has the wherewithal, the mental presence to stay away, not to start up, not to open certain doors that should not be open. Excuse me. That's what it says. Marchakto min hachet. Torah keeps us away, distances us from sin. It's just a fact. All the negative attitudes, all the wrong paths, there is no medicine, there is no antidote like Torah that could keep us away. Yes, but if one increases his Torah learning, is the best medicine, the best weapon that there is, to bring one away from sin and closer to a healthy zechut, to a healthy way of living. Last point in this Mishnah, someone who learns Torah, people are able to receive sound advice from him. Sound advice. Torah opens up the mind to see the different aspects of an issue and to be able to impart that vision. Bina ugvira, understanding, and confidence. Shenemar, the pasuk says, Li etzah, Hashem says it's mine. It comes from my Torah, giving good advice to Toshia. Ani bina, I am understanding, Li gevura, and to me belongs, confidence. I'm sorry I said Hashem. Rashi points out over here that this is a pasuk in Mishlei that is Torah, as if talking. Torah says these are the things that are that are put in Torah, and one could only get it through Torah. Okay, we shall continue.